That's part of a project that I'd discussed 2 years ago with Jay Weisberg, because a major contributor to the Giornate and to some of its publications as well was David Mayer. He and his wife, Helen Day Mayer, had been not only attending the Giornate for 20 years, pretty much, but they had contributed so much scholarship because they're both theatrical historians. And David was very good on, well, he was good in everything. He was a brilliant, brilliant man, but particularly with the idea of popular theatre in the late 19th century. One of his publications is a major book. It was D.W. Griffith, it's actually Stage-Struck Filmmaker, D.W. Griffith. And he wrote many pieces for the Griffith Project and other things for the various catalogues. He was a very dear friend, and he died in the summer of 2023. And I died early in the year. I wanted to do a strand having to do with melodrama, because the concept of melodrama not as an adjective for acting, melodramatic acting as a play, but the genre of melodrama as a stage and film genre. In other words, a complete piece, a kind of theatrical format, and became a film format. I mean, we often talk about films as melodramas, but to go back to films that were made of actual literary melodramas, and as to show their importance in general filmmaking. And I thought that would be a good idea, and it would be a good tribute to David. Well, first I should say the parodies don't appear unless there's a lot of knowledge of an original source. You can't parody something nobody knows. So that East Lynne, by the time East Lynne with Variations was produced, was a byword in the theatre. Everybody in the English-speaking world in particular knew the phrase East Lynne, and even the phrase which became kind of a joke, next week, East Lynne, in the theatres. So in terms of, I'm losing the track, we have the three versions. They're all very different. The 1913 British version is an important film because it was the longest British film of any kind really made to that date. And it was the first six-reel or full-length British feature film. And it was a huge success. And it was very, very, very well made in a crucial time, or in a crucial year for feature film, which is 1913. The Giornate did a whole 1913 retrospective many years ago. And at that time, a number of people asked, what happened to the British East Lynne? Why wasn't it shown? And it is very rarely seen. So that's an important thing just historically, aside from what's in it. The 1925 East Lynne is important partially because it's a later version of a text or genre that was so familiar at one point that, it lent itself to parody, as we're going to see. And it was sometimes dismissed. East Lynne would be kind of thrown aside because, oh God, it's East Lynne. And people wouldn't know what it was. They wouldn't say, they didn't know, for instance, about the book. If they'd seen the play, or the play versions, there were quite a number of them, well, they actually only took sections of the book, or they took the big set pieces out of the book and strung them together, culminating, of course, in the death of the child and the death of Lady Isabel. So that, in the fact the 1925 version is revisiting this, but also taking the text and what people knew about it and recasting it from something as, a very recognizable melodrama into something, well, more particular to the time. It's a romantic tragedy in 1925. In 1913, it was a version of a very well-known book, a literary adaptation. And it wasn't a play adaptation. The Barker Motion Photography Company, which produced the first East Lynne feature, stated in all its publicity the film was based on the book, not the plays. And it shows. So as a literary adaptation, the 1913 East Lynne is extremely important because it's very close to the book, and it presents it honestly and without condescension. And the Max Sennett parody is very, very good of its kind. A lot of fun. It's a pity that there isn't more of it left. But it's from a series of Sennett comedies that are the rarest comedies of the Sennett canon. The Paramounts are very, very few that are left. So.